Alright, so we've gone over the basics of object-oriented programming, so classes, objects, methods, properties. Alright, now we're going to get into static methods and static properties. And you may see the term static classes, but it's not really the classes that are static. It's the methods and properties inside of them. Alright, so let's take a look at an example. Alright, so let's create a class called user. Alright, and we're going to give this a property. We're going to say public static, and then give it a, we'll say min pass length. Okay, so minimum password length, and we'll set that to 5. Alright, so notice that I use the static keyword here. Alright, so now what we're going to do is create a static method. Alright, so we'll say public static, and let's call this validate password. Okay, and that's going to take in a password. Alright, now let me explain why this is something that would be static. Alright, so let's say we have a property called username. Okay, so username is not always going to be the same. Okay, depending on the username will be different. Alright, so this isn't something that you want to be static. This, however, min pass length is always going to be the same. Okay, it's always going to be whatever you put here. It doesn't matter if one user or another user is logging in. It's always going to be the same. So this is a really good example of what should be static. Alright, same thing with the function or the method. We're going to validate the password by the password length, and that's it. Okay, it doesn't matter what the password is. We're just going to check it with this min pass length. Okay, so when you're dealing with static elements, it's not so much about the object or the instantiation. Actually, we don't even instantiate static properties at all. So let's just continue with this, and we're going to say if, and we're going to use the function called stringlen, so strlen, and then we want to pass in password. Okay, so we're going to say if the string length is greater than or equal. Now normally we would do something like this. Okay, we'd say this and then min pass length. Alright, now when we're using static properties or static methods, we don't use this and we don't use this, the word this. Alright, what we need to do is use self. Okay, so we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to say self, and then we need to use the 2 colons. Okay, so this here is called the scope, scope resolution operator. Alright, and that's what we use if something's static. Alright, so min pass length. Okay, so then we just want to return true, and then we'll put else return false. Okay, so now we have our static property and our static method. So let's go down here and let's create a variable called password, and we'll set it to we'll just say pass. Alright, and then to check that, what we'll do is we'll create an if statement, and we're going to say if user, and then we want to use our scope resolution operator, and then validate pass or validate password, and then pass in password. Okay, and then we'll do our echo, and we'll say password is valid, else we want to echo out password is not valid. Okay, now if we look at this, you'll notice that we didn't instantiate this. We didn't do anything that was like user equals new user. Okay, we don't have to do that when we're dealing with static methods or static properties. Okay, we can just simply take the class name and then the scope resolution operator and then call the function or the method. Alright, so let's go ahead and save it and run this. Let's see, unexpected validate password. Line 6. Public static. Oh, we got to do function here. Undefined class constant min pass length. What did I do here? Self min pass length. Oh, we got to use the $sign. There we go. Okay, password is not valid. If we change this to, let's say, the word password and reload, we get password is valid. Alright. Now, if I wanted to just access a property from outside, I can do that as well. Alright, so let's go, let's comment this out right here. Alright, and let's do echo user, and what is it? Min pass length. Okay, if we save that, and now you can see we get 5. So no instantiation, we just had to use the class name and then the property. So hopefully you can see the difference between just regular properties and methods and static properties and methods. Alright, so in the next video I want to take a look at class abstraction.